Hope you're having a great Friday. So let's start our short event for today. My name is Dima Foremnyi. I am a general partner here at 3x Capital. And today I would like to share with you a few things about security in Web3. Mostly going to be about personal security. Shortly about myself. I've been a lawyer in the past. I've worked in multinationals in Ukraine, but also in the Netherlands. I've been afterwards leading a business accelerator for 6 years. Started working with crypto in 2016, co-led Legal Hackers Community, Legal Innovations NGO, and now happy to be part of the management of the 3x Capital. Okay, so I think we have quite an interesting and important topic to be covered. Let's start with the problem, right? And the problem is as follows. According to Bitcoin.com article, there are about 1,500 Bitcoins that are lost daily. These losses often happen due to owners' private keys being compromised. And the other aspect of the problem on the global scale is that DeFi business in general last year lost collectively about almost $4 billion. This is due to hacks and compromises. This is from Chainalysis report. So the problem is huge, but of course, usually you don't care that much until it hurts you. Hopefully, it didn't hurt you yet. It hurt me personally and our company in the past, so that's why we are sharing with you. Okay, so here's the agenda for today. So first, we're gonna cover 5 safety tips. They're very simple tips that you can use personally. You can start doing them already on the same day. Right? So during the event or after the event, you can actually try all of them and apply. I would be happy if you would share your personal tips, right? Please share it in the comment, like I use this and this method, I do this and that. Okay, that would be really helpful. So then I'll provide some software example. I'll talk about 2 software that I've been using personally recently for extra security. There's the Guardian and the Rebbe wallet. I think they're great. And also talk a little bit about ERC 4337. That's a Ethereum update that also has many upgrades, including some security tools. Okay, so let's start with some tips. As I said, I would be happy to see your tips in the comments. Please share them. First of all, use strong passwords that are unique, right? So you probably know this, that you shouldn't be using the same password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for every website and for your wallets as well, of course. But all of us struggle with this. I also struggled with this. There are 2 ways how you can solve it. You can solve it by using a password manager, but actually we also witnessed hacks of those tools, like 1Password, and I think some others have been targeted before. The other way how you can do is you can create your own personal strong passwords that will compose of 2 parts. So one part will be depending on the tool or website or app that you're using, and the other part will be the same for all passwords, right? This way you would have strong passwords, so you can have some asterisks, exclamation marks, etc., numbers, but also you would have some specific part that's going to be different. So if there will be a leak, you're probably not going to be exposed to all of your apps, and then you'll be more safe. Of course, if it's going to be a attack directly towards you, some person can understand your approach. But if it's going to be like a malware that just extracts all the passwords from all over the internet, they cannot apply it to all of your services. So this is good. Okay, we want it or not, but if we're using non-custodial wallets, meaning those where we actually own our seed, private key and seed phrases, then you would need to store them somehow. There are different methods how you can do it. You can actually write it on the paper. It is really important. You can put it in the safe box, etc. But usually it doesn't happen. And if some wallets, if you have many wallets and still you want to somehow keep track of those on your computer, how you can make it safer, at least a little bit more safe than just save it in your notes, right? So you can apply this method. Not everybody knows that, but Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel has an encryption function. So what you can do is you can put your private keys or your seed phrases into one file, and then you would go to File, Info, Protect Workbook, if it is for the Excel file, and then you say encrypt with password, and then you would apply a strong password one more time. So this gives you an extra layer of security, right? And you can then save it on your backup software that you're using. Could be Google Drive, could be anything else. So if your computer would be hacked, you would still have it on your Google Drive, and you would have it protected, right? So I think this is useful. Some people are just saving seed phrases in their notes. This is not so secure as you can imagine. So this is just a simple tip to level up your personal security. Okay, so then we move to usage of hardware wallets. This is also popular. If you're not familiar, hardware wallet is just like a small flash drive. Looks like this, and it is non-custodial, and it is one of the safest ways to save your crypto. Why? Because it stores all of your seed phrases, and nobody can actually access them in this device. So this is why it's extra secure. You have about 5 manufacturers, a few of them that are most known, that is Trezor and Ledger. However, for Ledger, I've been using it personally, but I was really frustrated that recently they suggested an update where they would be backing up your seed phrases. Can you imagine? So they would be splitting your seed phrase into a couple of blocks with 3 or 4 words, and they will be distributing it to different entities for extra security and to enable you to recover it. So you want it or not, but your seed phrase, it's not yours anymore. And there was a lot of debate on Twitter, and people were not happy, of course, because basically it allows some institutional players or governmental bodies to access your ledger in case they would need to, right? So this is sort of a backdoor. I didn't see it for Trezor. It didn't happen. The bonus of the Trezor is that it is open source, and you can actually see all of those updates, and Ledger is not. And so it's up to you. One of the most secure ways to secure your crypto is Ledger, and probably you would go for Trezor. For that, you can also look up a few others. So that was tip number 3. Tip number 4 related to AI boom that we have seen recently, and I've seen a study that says that all AI extensions, well, actually not all, but 80% of them are vulnerable. They have vulnerabilities in their code, and they're not so stable. They could be hacked, and this way you can actually give access to your computer for the hacker. So consider not using Chrome extensions, Chrome AI extensions, but instead you can use your ChatGPT in a separate tab, etc. I know many of you have been using extensions. I also used a few extensions. I used Harpa, and I used another one. but now I disabled them, and I only use them when I need it and if I need it. Otherwise, I'm just using a separate tab for Claude, for example, if you would like to analyze a huge document like white paper of Ethereum, let's say. You can also try use Claude. That's a great AI tool that allows you to upload your PDF file, like 100 pages or more. It actually has 100,000 tokens, so it is much more than ChatGPT allows. You can upload all of them, and you can ask the AI to analyze the document for you. You can even upload 2 documents, and you can ask to compare it. So this is a really nice tool to analyze a bigger amount of data, and you can check it out. It's Claude.io, CLAUDE. Okay, so this is about AI. Be aware of extensions. Okay, keep track of suspicious interactions with your wallet. So the point here is that in 99% of the time, if you're using wallets like MetaMask or some other wallets, and many times you don't know exactly about the transaction that is going on. You just have to trust that source, but that could be very problematic because you can allow the contract to receive to the bigger amounts money than you want to, or it could be a fake activity, right? And for these purposes, you would want to use special extensions like a Wallet Guardian. It just checks the addresses that you're about to interact with, and it works it works in 3 lights like red, yellow, green. So for that, you have high level of problematic of security risks, and then for yellow, it should be okay. For green, you're good to go. I've recently, like maybe half a year ago, started using Rabbit Wallet. I think it's great. I recommend you check it out. It actually has these things built in. So I'll just quickly show you how it works. So what you can do is you can do pre-sign check for security, right? So it is a really great feature that allows you to see in the pop-up window before you do the transaction all the security risks that you may have, right? And of course, they would also rate them, and you would need to click that you allow this transaction if you really would like to. If you didn't interact with this is the first time you're interacting with this website or with this contract, it will give you the warning, right? So if you're on your familiar website that you're used to log in, but all of a sudden you have this warning that you never interacted with this contract, you could think about it. What happened? Why? What changed? Right? They would also, of course, warn you if you're about to interact with some addresses that have been marked as dangerous. So this is a great security tool. I also like Rabbit because it is open source and has been audited, so it's quite great. It supports something like 60 something chains. Right. Another feature that I like in Rabbit is that it can show you simulation results, transaction simulation results, right? So what they're doing is they parse the transaction content for you, and they show it to you in pop-up window. So a lot of times you have complicated transactions with a lot of steps being done, right? And in those cases, you sometimes don't see that transaction result, and you actually have to trust what's gonna happen. You're gonna trust the contract, and you're gonna just click sign, and then you'll see what's gonna happen. This feature allows you to see what's gonna happen, right? So tokens out, tokens in. It will simulate what will happen during all of those steps, which is of course great. If you're using other wallets or other extensions, please let me know in the comments, or if you have other questions about this wallet that I've been using. This is not a promotion. I don't have a referral code or something. That is a really cool app that I've been using. Okay, let me quickly check if we have other comments in the chat. I didn't see any so far. Okay, so we can now switch to the last part of our short event for today. Short but really important, that can help you a lot. That's the future solution for problems which lies the 4337 standard, right? So it was implemented through the improvement proposal of Ethereum. It was implemented in March, or actually in May. So it allows for account abstraction, and I'm going to go into detail what is account abstraction. But this upgrade is huge in terms of security, but also it allows for a lot of things that helps your user experience, right? And you already actually have few wallets that are ERC 4337 compliant. You can go check Gnosis Safe, you can go check a few others that actually support all the features. So what you have here, you have multi-sig, you probably know it. It's been first introduced in Bitcoin ecosystem. It allows for multiple signatures to interact before the transaction will happen, right? So you can set, for example, 3 out of 5 people should sign the transaction before it will go out. It's been there before, but now it's easier. And what is even more important, that allows for social recovery, right? So before, if you would lose your private key, you probably would be in trouble because you would not be able to recover your assets, your digital assets that you had in your wallet, because you had no way to recover your wallet and your seed phrase, right? We all know the stories that people had so many Bitcoins on their computers and now they throw them away and they have no idea how to recover it. So they're trying their best, but it's in vain, right? And that's why we have so many lost assets. Social recovery actually allows you to assign few people that that would be combined in combination that would allow you to recover your phrase, your seed phrase, right? This is something new that never happened before. So you can assign 5 people, your friends that basically don't need to know each other, and they probably shouldn't, your friends, your family. And if you have trouble, right, then you can ask all of them, like for example, 5 of them, to sign a specific transaction that will allow you to recover your wallet. This is something really new, and I think it will be more and more implemented in different wallets. For now, it's not so popular yet. I think it will take a little bit of time, but we've seen that Vitalik had been talking about the importance of social recovery for a long time. So I think it will happen in the future. If you know other features, please let me know also. Or if you've been using social recovery, please share, because I've never used it personally yet. Still have to test it. All right. So a few other things that are improved with this Ethereum improvement is sponsored transactions. This is something that will allow other parties to pay for your transaction. So it will actually allow for seamless transaction without gas. I think all of us who started in crypto have been into this awkward situation where you receive some tokens, but actually you don't have any native tokens for gas, right? And then you're all of a sudden in trouble. Okay, you have, I don't know, $100 in your wallet, but in USDT, for example, and it is on Ethereum, but actually you don't have ability to use it because you have no gas fee. So for now, as of May, and using this upgrade, you can actually, this standard, you can actually have wallets that are going to be paying, or other parties that are going to be paying for your transactions. I think it's going to be really popular in gaming industry, for example, where actually want people to have seamless experience. It will change the way people are interacting with this, right? It will also simplify wallet access and logins. You would be able to use biometric authentication methods for non-custodial wallets that was not able you were not able to do that before, right? You were able to use like old school Web2 login system for custodial wallet, but it means basically that somebody will be storing your keys, and this is not safe, right? This is not so good. But now you can do it actually in non-custodial way. So this is a great improvement. Okay, we also will have a few more technical things that will improve. It will be a more efficient and simpler signature algorithms. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not going to tell you more about that. Right? And of course, something that we expect the post-quantum world, probably it will happen in future few years, couple of years. But this upgrade already have some preemptive measures done in order to have everything ready for that. So this is something not so practical. Maybe you can try the social recovery thing that can improve your security. But apart from that, that's it. Right. So please let me know if you have any comments or ideas. And I'll just quickly remind you what we have discussed. So you can use strong passwords. You can make up passwords using static and non-static parts, and you can combine them. You should encrypt with passwords your seed phrases, right? You can actually do it without any software extra. Usually you would have Excel and Word on your computer, and you just go to File, Protect the document, and encrypt it with password, and then you apply your strong password that you now know how to do, right? Then you should use hardware wallets for one of the most important assets that you have. For bigger amounts, you probably would go for Trezor. Ledger now have some questions. Don't trust your AI extension. Just use it in a separate tab. And just in general, be careful with what extensions are you installing. It's not only drains your memory of your computer, but actually it can also harm you. And then you should keep track of your suspicious interactions, and you can do it with side extensions like Guardian, Wallet Guardian, that actually will pop up and say if everything is okay or not. Or you can use wallets that already have these built-in features like Rebby wallets that I've been talking about. That is really nice. Yeah. So apart from that, I've also mentioned about the new standard that been implemented by Ethereum Improvement Proposal 4337 that is already launched, and we can use it. And more wallets will be supporting this standard and will be compliant with this standard. So we covered 3 topics, get some tips, get some specific software that we can use, and we just get a glimpse in the future with the standard. I think this is it. If you have any ideas how I can improve my personal security and you can share it with everybody, please do it in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. Cheers. Have a good day.